Welcome to Toffee TV. Quiet week until the storm hit on Friday night, Baz.
Was it a quiet week?
It was in terms of...
There was some news, wasn't
there?
There was the stadium project consultation results were out and Everton extended the Fanatics deal.
Yeah, it was quite weak. Nothing really mattered in terms of that. So a 40-page document emerged online that we now know is a real document, it's not fake, it hasn't been faked, it's a real consultation document with some images some images of stadiums, some images of, say, standing and stand steepness, and just giving an overarching view of what a potential new stadium could look like on the banks of the River Mersey. What were your thoughts on what you saw, first of all?
It's difficult, isn't it? Because it's very much like images of. I think when you're looking for stadium images, I think you want to see better quality pictures and how it's going to look from a certain aspect. I think just looking through the documents, it's quite obviously more a technical document than it is for fans, say, to give you that overview or whatever. I think reading into it, yes, there's, people have pulled up what Dan Meis put out or give his presentations at, the church and stuff, Goodison, and have made comparisons with it and how things have changed since then. But even then, the images that he showed at those consultations, I don't think were finalised anyway. They were just examples, I think. And I think this is just examples. I'd be surprised if this is how it will ultimately be when it goes into planning. So I don't know. Underwhelmed.
I mean, that's the main thing. The main thing I'd take from it is it's not a planning document. They aren't blueprints. These are, like you just said, images to show you or show people
what it may look like.
Well, number one, things like what the footprint would be. Which way the stadium would be facing. Things that might surround it, how close it will be to the road, how close it will be to the river, where it would sit, all those kind of things. And whereas it's lovely that we've got a little bit more information, it's also just a little bit misleading, I think, on what the stadium will look like. Personally, I don't think the stadium from the outside is going to look like that.
No, I don't.
I think that is just a skin that has been put on it just to show it's a stadium. I mean, the picture from above, it's just like white, isn't it? It's just white. It's just
not going to be white.
No, it's not. It's just showing you what.
And that thing with Everton written in the thing. Robert Elstone used that image a few years ago on a presentation.
Yeah.
So,
and I just think that's what they've done. They've just took a rough image just to use it as a comparison or just to show people what because
a
stadium would look like. So it's nice that we've got a little bit more documentation, but I think people are getting a little bit too bent out of shape about the designs, because Dan Meis has said himself, and I think to get the planning permission, I don't think it could look like that to get planning permission. It's got to be in keeping with the surrounding area.
He said it's going to look like it's come off the ground, didn't he, of what's gone before.
Yeah.
A big white roof stadium
with a big glass front
thing.
Don't think that's going to happen.
Not sure that's going to happen. There might be one element of it that's glass with a thing, because he did talk about the veranda looking back to the city. But I think it'd look a bit different than that anyway. I think in terms of the home end, one of them's a big steep home end. I think it looks fantastic. I think in your mind, I can see, whether it looks like that anyway, but just when you're thinking about how it could look with the blue seats, I think that looks...
Well, the inside, I mean, the inside of it, I think that's slightly different, because how many different ways can you do the inside of a ground? You know what I mean? You're looking at Spurs at the moment. Spurs has got that fantastic one-piece end, but the rest of it looks like a bulkier White Hart Lane. I mean, the outside looks absolutely amazing, but the inside is what it is. It's
no cheese bar though.
No, they've got rid of the cheese room, which is really disappointing.
Yeah.
what can you do?
No, I think you're right. I think there's only so much you can do with a stadium inside to make it, I think it looks fine, kind of the way it is. It's not a bowl, and he said it wouldn't be a bowl, and it doesn't look like a bowl. I don't know whether they've... And again, it's difficult because I know, speaking to John Blaine, he's talking about different scalings and executive boxes and stuff like that. We don't know whether they're gonna cut those executive boxes down or whether we need more for corporate. There's a lot of stuff about how much the pricing will be and the capacity. But if they're doing a 52,000 seater stadium when Dan Meis was doing it, then, and this is a 52,000 seater stadium, then how can it be smaller?
Well, this is one of the points, and I've been looking on social media, and to be honest, I haven't really been getting involved in the conversation because this all goes over my head a little bit. Not that I don't understand it, it's just that it's not the final design, so it's a little bit premature. But what we have seen is we've seen the stands and the comparisons with other stadiums. Now, there was pictures taken from the consultation in St Luke's that got leaked again. They got leaked, those pictures, online, even though we were told we would get to see those pictures to be official. It was never made official. Now, they have been scaled down slightly, and that's been worrying people. Now, do you think those original pictures, the reason they've been scaled down is maybe those original pictures were for a larger stadium? Maybe a 60,000, right, all-seater, right? I'm just throwing this out there. Maybe they were for an all-seater 60,000 stadium, and maybe what's changed since then is that now, because of what they think with rail seating and the fact that there looks like there could be a change in the legislation, do you think maybe what they've done is said, well, you know what, we can make this a slightly smaller stadium, but with the 52,000 plus whatever we can get with rail seating, that'll add up, and maybe that will help the final planning permission, because then it doesn't look like a big stupid thing and it looks like something that is in keeping.
Possibly. It's hard to know where his original scalings were when he done the... I didn't go to the presentation, so I don't know what was... I know what people have reported, but I didn't hear with my own ears what Dan Meis said about that situation. So he could come back and go, they were just examples of, first part drawings or first part whatever, to give you some idea. I don't know. They could quite well be what you just said. Originally they thought 60,000, can you build it down at 60,000, and he did. And now they've had a look at it, and they're looking at costings, and they're looking at we can have 52,000, but with rail seating we can have 62,000, because that's what they've said, haven't they?
That's what they've said. That's what they've said. We're not making that up.
That's quite clear out there. They want 62,000 seater, 62,000 capacity if rail seating changes. So, and listen, I'm a firm believer that it will change very quickly, and Everton will be able to go up.
Well, we've seen things change all the time. Tottenham were having a cheese room, and now they're not having a cheese room. So,
well, we know Tottenham have got rail seating in their stadium. They've got the facility to put it in. Wolves are putting it in.
Listen, you can't. Listen, let's just clear something up. You can have rail seating right now in your stadium. You're just not allowed to have the seat bolted up. It's got to be permanently in the seating position. But if you want to put those seats in your stadium right now, there's nothing to stop you.
Future proofing.
It is just it is. Wolves are looking at this, but they're putting in an area of this ground that doesn't house fans, if that makes sense. So they're not using it on a match day, but they're putting it into an area of the ground, and I don't know why, but it's to see. I think they're going to do some experimentation with it and maybe open it. But the idea is that you can put, though, and I spoke to John Darsh, who's the safe standing expert in the UK, who we're going to speak to next week about this, and he said you can have those seats now, you just can't use them for standing. But what some clubs are looking at is that if we put them in, maybe like in an away end where you've got a problem with people standing up, right? You put them in, because those people are going to stand anyway. It's safer to have this kind of seating. But it is a seat, it's just that it's got the...
Well, do you think that with doing that, with scaling it down, if that's what's happened, and we still don't know.
Yeah.
People are just putting the two and two together. They could quite well before.
Yeah.
They could be spot on.
No,
the people who are
I don't know, that's the point.
We've got no clue. It's because the concourses and stuff have got to be bigger if it's going to be rail seating, quite clearly, because when the seats it's 52 and when they're not seats it's 62.
Isn't this the problem? Isn't this
slightly?
the problem of the whole thing? Is that we're guessing? Because at the end of the day, this is a leaked document that has got nothing behind it other than what it says, and we've got
no context,
and anything we've got to compare it to was also leaked. So you're right, there's no context to anything that we're talking about. We're just talking about leaked images, and we're trying to do our best with them, but they're there, they're genuine. The club apparently have launched an investigation to how they got leaked, so they are genuine. It's just not, these are just not the final plans. I think that's what we've got to get over to people. I just think that it could be you're right, it could be somewhere in that. It could be that while we're jostling for ideas internally at the club, they're coming out with all different things. And
what about this then? What about this as a scenario, right? And I don't know whether you think this could be could be a reason for it, but whether this negative that the club are seeing could actually be turned into a positive, as far as the club are concerned. By it coming out now, it gives a lot of people the opportunity to throw their...
Are you saying these might be being purposely leaked to gauge the atmosphere amongst the fans?
No,
okay, I'm just asking the question.
I'm not saying that at all. Okay. I'm saying now that they have been leaked, the club should be using this as an opportunity to gauge public reaction, because
I think
before the planning goes in, and we know it can be changed up until literally half an hour before it's submitted, it gives people the opportunity.
Only if you've got one of those pencils with a rubber on the end.
Yeah, of course. You've got to have.
You've got to be ready to.
You know, and that could be a way of testing the water. I personally think that when we kick off in Bramley Moore, that our capacity will be above 52,000. That's my personal view.
Well, again, I don't know that, because I just don't know. But what I'm going to say is that if these got out, if let's just say they had been leaked by someone at the club, I'm not saying they have been, I'm just saying if they had been, I think that would have been a clever strategy. I think the fact is that you can gauge ideas by it wouldn't be the first time an institution has released something to gauge how the public feel. The government do it all the time. People do it in every walk of life all the time. They'll leak something, then you've got plausible deniability, and you can go, oh no, that's not real, when it was the first ever plan or whatever. People do it all the time for everything. You can then gauge the club. Let's be honest, the club can be looking around. They can be looking around at what we talk about, what other sites talk about, polls, people they feel have a vested interest online, whatever, and go, oh, they don't. Funny enough, we got something on our Twitter page today about the badge. It's 5 years since the badge or something was going to get changed, right? So it's like that again. People, they looked online, seeing that fans hated. There was a petition done, and the club seen that fans didn't like it, and then said they said to the fans, well, what do you like? Went away, got it, make the badge. Now, okay, you can't do that with a stadium. Of course you can't. But by looking online and talking to people, you can gauge what works and what doesn't work, and then you can use that in the final plans. Of course you can.
What do you think's people's biggest issue with this?
I think there's two problems with it in terms of, for some people, I think it's the wording of what the club have said. It's an iconic stadium on the banks of the River Mersey, right? So by making it smaller on those designs from what was on the other designs, people are instantly gonna say, the doommongers out there, or just people who want to see Everton be the biggest thing in the world or whatever, are gonna go, why is that one bigger? Why is this one smaller? Because if it's going that way, then how much more will it go that way?
Yeah,
So instead of going, so really it should be going that way, and going, well, you know, if you're listening to us, it shouldn't be 50, it should be 60. But it's not. People will look at it and go, well, the attendance is only 52. You're saying it might get to 62, and it's getting smaller. So how much more will it go smaller? And I think that's the problem, isn't it? That's the real problem that people are going to come up with. The other one is, I suppose, from this pit is how it looks. People are going to look at that and go, oh, that's shite, it looks like Kirby or whatever. Whereas, that's a big problem with that, is that's not going to look like that. Like, I'm 99.9 sure that it will, in 1,000, that it will not look like that, because that goes against, that's not just a creative thought, that's an actual getting it through planning permission. That's going to, you've got to go to, you know, the World Heritage people who clearly don't want this thing in the first place, and say to them, this is not going to mess with the waterfront, this is not going to ruin the front of it. Maybe if you didn't have World Heritage or whatever, then you could go, we're going to put this big glass thing on the front and it's going to be it's going to be amazing. But number one, why would you do that anyway? Why wouldn't you want to have something iconic that fits without it being an eyesore? I want it to look like the surrounding area and make it fit and make it look.
Do you not think it? Well, if it stayed at 52,
yeah.
Which I know we're all not happy with 52,000. I'm not happy with 52,000.
I'm not asked. If it gets to 62,
then I'm alright with that. I've said, sorry, my point is, I've got no problem with the shape stand and elements taking it up. Brilliant. I think it's clever. Really, I really do. I'm not happy if it stays at 52,000.
No.
I'm really not. No. That to me is too low. But I still think, even if it was 52,000 to start with, whatever, I still think it can be iconic.
Of course it can.
Because Juventus holds 43 and looks iconic.
Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question though? And I think this is something that hasn't really been spoke about as such. Is right. Is it iconic because of what it looks like, or is it iconic because of where it is? Right? Because what if someone said so? What if they had the two on the? So you got the two places, Bramley Moore Dock, East Lancs, right?
Yeah.
What if someone had said to you, we can see that land? There's loads of land. There's nothing stopping us from doing whatever we want, literally, and we can surround it by a big Everton theme park if we wish. It doesn't matter. No one's stopping us. We can do whatever we want. That's ours. And then you've got Bramley Moore Dock, confined area, smaller footprint, less room to work on, a river on one side, a road on the other side, working docks, a sewage plant, working docks on this side, right? You're confined.
Yeah.
To what you've got there. So what if they turn around and went, we just can't make it any bigger? So there's your choice. Do you want a big Everton,
Everton World,
Everton land, Disney World? We can have whatever you want, or do you want something that is in the most iconic spot? Is going to look amazing. Is going to look, when you come down the river, night shots of it from planes and drones, and are going to look amazing. Isn't that the trade-off that we've all sort of signed up for here? Because I don't remember that many people saying it's got to be the Lancs. Every single person I spoke to wanted Bramley Moore because it was iconic. It was something that was going to separate us from the rest. It was going to put us in a place that was going to be right near town, and was going to elevate us from being one thing maybe to another thing, instead of having almost like an out of town experience.
One sec, Joe, put on our Twitter, 65,000 plus East Lancs Road, 52,000 plus Bramley Moore Dock. Poll, to see what people go for. You're absolutely right with that, because at the time we were given Stone Cross Bridge, whatever it was called. That was one of the sites. If we'd have gone for that, there'd be bricks and mortar coming out the ground now, because it was planning permission would have sailed through. We could have built whatever. We could have built 70,000 stadium.
Because that's what we wanted.
Right. Or Bramley Moore. Now, personally, 70,000 on the East Lancs, or 55 I'm going to go for. because that's not pushing the envelope too much on Bramley Moore, I'd take Bramley Moore every time.
Yeah,
And that's with 15,000 less than what you could have had, say, at the East Lancs, because it's for all of those reasons you've said. We're our own entity at Bramley Moore. We haven't got the other noisy lot, the noisy neighbours in our vicinity. We're in the heart of the city. We're on the waterfront. We're surrounded by that fantastic architecture.
We're helping regenerate a part of Liverpool.
Regenerate a part of Liverpool. We're gonna, town is stretching.
Oh, listen, I walked last week. I told you this.
Yeah.
I got a train to Moorfields from here, right? And I walked literally to where the new ground is to pick my car up. And I was on my own at 7 o'clock at night, and honest to God, it was a nice little walk. I cut through the back of Old Orr Street. I was going, nice buildings around me, nice sort of environments, and then I cut down onto Great Howard Street, and I never once felt like on my own. And you imagine that on a match day with more fans around you, with more things there, as you just said, as town pushes outwards, and as
10th Street,
and 10th Street, and there's nice bars, and there's places to go for a drink.
So that's where I think a lot of Evertonians, I think, would have chosen that if they would have come out at the very, very start of this, right, and gone, right, we're moving from Goodison because we have to, and your two options are 65,000 plus on the East Lancs, or 55,000 on the banks of the Royal Blue Mersey at Bramley Moore Dock. But what do you think off the top of your head? What do you think? I think people would have gone for the 55,000.
That's what we went for, wasn't it? As a fan base, that's what we went for, and we got all excited when it was start. Oh, we'll never get that Peel. I'll never sign that over to us. Who owns the land, Peel? Oh, I thought it was the council. And we pushed and we pushed and we pushed and we pushed. And I think people forget all this. And I'm sorry for all the people out there who'll be like going, "Oh, you're apologist for the club." No, this is what we wanted as a fan base. Let's remember that. For me, if the club had really wanted to go its way, it would be up on the East Lancs.
Yeah,
it would be.
They'd been easier for them.
Oh my God, it would be so much easier, cheaper. And you know what happens then is, for me, what Bramley Moore will do, it concentrates the thinking. It makes it a tougher design, so that Dan Meis has to start thinking, how do I do this? How can I make this a thing? That number one is amazing, because it's got to be amazing because of what surrounds it. Because it is Liverpool.
Because it could just be whatever on.
Whereas if it was it could just be a white soulless bowl, or something that looks boss now, but in 5 years goes, that hasn't aged too well.
I think the problem, I think from a positive point of view of it being where it's gonna be, is that surrounding area. It is that you're buying into that area, right? I think it's gonna attract more people when there's no football, because it's in the city centre. It's on. You come down a cruise like, oh, what's that footy stadium? We do it.
Yeah.
You go to a city. You want to go and see the. Whereas, are people going to get off a cruise? I know.
Look at Bill.
To some people,
Bill
right?
House.
It's not going to matter to some people, right? But you get off a boat in the Pier Head, you're not going to go.
What was that?
Take me to the East Lancs to look for Everton.
Maybe it's the East Lancs.
Well, you're not going to. But if you pull up,
take me to the showcase.
You pull up
and it's sticky cap
on a thing there, and you see that stadium. It's going to attract all that, which means that bars and cafes and restaurants around.
Look at somewhere like Bilbao, right? Bilbao Stadium is amazing the way they've done it, right? My mum and dad went on a cruise ship. They went and they went past it. My dad was like, "Oh, there it is. Let's go." Went.
Did they go?
I had a little look. I've got a little pennant in ours, and it's like, that's amazing. It looks amazing.
Yeah, it does look.
No, I'm not saying. I mean, the club itself is not. I mean, it's not a massive world brand, but it doesn't want to be, because they only pick local players. But that stadium is. I read the piece on it last week. To move to that stadium, it meant something, because if you read up on it, on Bilbao, they are the Basque team. They only take players who were brought up in the Basque country or born in the Basque country. They don't want to be a world brand. They want to be who they are. So that ground means the world to them. And how they built their ground was amazing. They basically built like Tottenham's, but they built it and then played the final game and then knocked the ground down dead quick and then built the stadium. And it's an amazing, and it's a bit like what, hopefully, I'm hoping the Bramley Moore Stadium will look like. This iconic thing that you look at from the river. It's slightly different because it's slightly higher up, but it's an amazing. But it's that kind of feel that we're looking for, something that just you look at, you stand back and go, wow, look at that.
Do you think the club could have... It's a tough one, isn't it, I suppose?
Do you think right, I'll ask you a question. Do you think the club should recognise this and say to people what you think? Or do you think they should stay well clear of this?
That was going to be my question to you. I was going to say it's a tough one, because if they're trying to do things...
But this is not for the public though, is it?
No, but I'm saying to you, like, if they're trying to do things in a way building up to planning, I don't know, the consultation's been planned for May or June, which incorporates images and all that. Now, as far as it was reported last week, this isn't going to be the document we see anyway, so we're going to see stuff that we like and we can vote on. So I don't know whether Dan Meis is going to put, like,
Holmes cat,
thing hanging down, Everton batting, you know, whatever. But do you think the club should have come out and done an official statement then? Not fed it to the Echo.
Well, hang on. They fed it to us. Let's be honest with them.
I know. But they're going to feed it to people. But do you think the club should come out and say, listen, this isn't this?
Well, they did. But that's what they did. They got in touch with people like us.
No, but
that's what I'm saying. That's what they did. They did do that. They did it the way they do everything else. They got in touch with us and said, put it out. You know, make sure that it's... you could. It is the real thing, but it's not from us. But I know what you're saying. Should they have done it in official? They should officially
front it up now and say, look, our plans are still to be bigger than 52,000, because I think people. I think people are looking, right. People are looking. People have messaged me today saying about it and stuff and going, what I don't like is the fact that it was bigger and it seems to have been scaled down. Yeah. Could the club not head that off and go,
what are we missing here? What are we missing?
We're missing quite a few things.
But what are we missing in terms of...
Nice for a start.
What are we missing in terms of communication?
A chief engagement officer.
We're missing somebody...
A chief engagement officer.
The badge thing. We're missing somebody...
Well, maybe not even that.
We're missing somebody who could have come out and said to us, that's not accurate.
Or whatever.
That's something. That's an internal document that is used to do these things. Someone that the fans
trust. No specifics on
it. No, but that's what the club are missing, aren't they? The club should have come out, but they don't have a human being at the club who can do that. They don't have someone at the club whose job it is. And all right, we're crossing into something else now. But the club don't have someone who can come out and talk to fans and go. No, last week you sent me that thing from Tony Barrett, right? Where he got into it with like Liam Gallagher over it, right? And people going, that's dead unprofessional. I thought it was brilliant. I love it. I love everything that Tony Barrett does for Liverpool because I think it's brilliant. He talks, but it's not professional. But what it is he's took. But you'd say that because it's Liverpool. If that was
I didn't see his point of. And you're still second, or no, use your ninth or so, whatever it was.
But the point is, he was fighting. He does it all the time. He is there. He is the fans' representative at the football club officially, and he was just putting it out there. Now he was putting it out there as himself. Yeah. But what I'm saying is, though, he is somebody that you can talk to at Liverpool, and then can relay that because that's his job. And that's something we need at Everton Football Club. Been saying it for ages. We had one. We had the best one. He's gone. We need another one back. We need someone that can come out on Friday night and go, like that, relay the things that the club are trying to relate to, like the Echo and trying to relate to us. Why haven't you got someone at the club who can do that? Do you know what? How hard would it be? Honestly, how hard would it be to have someone who works for the club just pick up a phone and go, Right, hi everybody, I believe there's a document going around Twitter, blah blah blah, yeah, that's for this, whatever, stick that on Twitter and everyone will watch it and everyone go, okay, now we know where we are. Why do you need to go through all the, it doesn't have to have production value, it doesn't need to be official video. Why aren't the club brave enough to now just go, 2019. Why can't you just pick up a phone, make a video message, and just stick it out?
Because they haven't got a chief engagement
but that's
officer.
but that's what I'm saying. Why does everything have to go round the houses? We live now in a generation of everything where it's just like, why am I waiting for the news tomorrow? I can find out today.
I just think you're right. If we had that chief engagement officer who could front it up, it could be. It still wouldn't have satisfied some people. You've got to accept that. But at least the club have headed it off. At least they've looked and gone, look. However they do it, right? This is a document that's been prepared. As you do, it's still a work in progress, as it will continue to be up until we submit planning permission. Blah, blah,
Why
blah.
exactly? Listen, we went into a thing last week for the stadium, right? Find out the results of the public consultation, right? So all the media are there, and you know the Echo and all that are there, and it's like, when's it going to be in the Echo? Tomorrow morning, because that's the next print. We had it out 10 minutes later. We had it out on our channel 10 minutes later. Now, I'm not saying that makes us better, but the Echo, obviously, or any newspapers, that's their format. That's their form of media. That's how they make money. You go on their website. But and I know it's changed for them. Of course, it's changed for them. It's changed for them so they can get stuff out instantly. But that's the way we live in now. People want stuff instantly. It shouldn't be for the next day. It should be instantly. The club should have someone who works there who has got the remit to just go, we need this out and we need this out now. I'm going to pick them. How hard would it be for somebody to work at Everton Football Club to have an office in their house where they have a phone and a tripod and have a light where they can just sit down and can have an official board behind them and just go, I'm sure everyone out there is just seeing this document. That document is not for public consumption. This is what it is. Please don't think that these are the final designs, because they're not. Bang! Get it on Twitter, get it on Facebook, get it on Instagram. It's out, it's everywhere. It's just told you everything you need to know instantly. This is something the club are missing massively. Why do you need the Echo? Why do you need us? You do it. We have a conversation about that anyway. But almost like if it comes from us, it almost feels like it's, are these real? Are these not real? We're just saying, this is what this is what it looks like. It generates speculation that runs away, and then the narrative changes. So people are saying, oh, that's that and that's that. And it's like, how do you know that? How do you know that's the design? But how do you know that's not the design?
Well, we weren't given the other ones in the first place, though.
But we weren't. After we were told, we would have been.
But we're moving away, aren't we, from what the actual thing is?
No, I know, but I think it's important, though. I think it's important to talk about these things, though, Baz. I think it's important to ask, why are we here discussing leaked images of pictures that may or may not be the stadium, when the club...
You know what the point was, to make videos to talk about.
I know, we would have talked about it anyway, of course we would have. It doesn't matter what Everton talk about.
No.
But the point being is, if Everton would have come out and just gone...
Well, we'd have had context to it. But
exactly, and then you can talk about the context. So it doesn't harm us. But
no.
What I'm saying is, as a football club, you have someone who just fronts it up on Friday night, whose job it is, and just says, these are not the real images, or goes on Twitter and says it. Nothing has come out from the club, good, bad, whatever. It's all from other sources. And then it's whether those people even trust those sources. People might be sitting there all watching this and going, you know nothing. Because we're not credible to them. And that's fine. That's fine if we're not credible to someone. But the point being is, then it'd be a lot easier to do this video if we knew. Because officially, it's like when you go... We might be saying, I'll wait till I see him in an Everton shirt, and it's like, honestly, no, and that's fine, because people have been stung far too many times. And I just think that could easily solve this kind of issue.
But that's
the big nature.
The whole thing could be with the chief engagement officer. Yeah. If you've got someone, whether it was Alan Myers or someone who understands more of it behind it, does, whatever. If you've got that person who fronts it all up. Everton have been, Yerry Mina's been abducted by aliens. People were running the other day, which was basically, that was what it was.
Yeah.
The conspiracy, no one's seen him. someone should come on. Yeah, he means he's been injured, he's training, and that's headed. Well, that's gone. Oh, all right then. What next? Everton, Everton have been kit bag, and it's a crap deal. But come out kit bag a bit. We had a presentation from Fanatics. We know how big we done our thing, but things like that. Just someone who heads things off to keep the club moving in the right direction. A lot of people. The thing with Bramley Moore, what I read from a lot of different people is no one's really happy with the capacity, right? And that's fine. Some are like, I'm alright with it. That's fine. I'm okay with it if it does what it says. If it does what it says, meaning.
Let me ask you a question right now. Right now.
Go on.
If Everton Football Club came out today and said we can give you 62,000 seats right now, right? Or the alternative was 52,000 seats with a possibility of 10 standing, which one would you take?
62,000 seats.
Which I would take 52 with the possibility of standing.
As anything.
No, 62. Right, no possibility. They're all nailed down. There's nowhere to go.
Okay.
Knowing what you know.
But you're gambling.
What are you gambling though?
I don't know.
See, isn't that the same question as big shiny Everton land and boss looking stadium where you might have a slightly reduced stadium?
But what I'm trying to say is that people, I really do believe, because there's too much stuff going on in the background, that the 1-to-1 ratio will be gone soon. It'll be bigger.
Okay.
Right, and that means Everton's capacity will be bigger. I've never ever thought.
So you're not willing to bet that on 52?
Well, you just give me 62, so that's the higher capacity.
Yeah.
Well, I want the higher capacity.
But I want the
Do you want the higher capacity with standing?
Yeah, of course. I want standing, because I think with standing comes atmosphere, and that's the way football's going. Hopefully, football's going anyway.
And but I just want us to get to 62,000. But what I'm saying here is that I think that's a lot of people's biggest gripe, is obviously the capacity size, right?
Go on.
Isn't it? Quite clearly.
Oh, I know.
So if Everton could come out and went, we know that by next year the ratio's 1-to-2, right?
Yeah.
1 point.
Yeah.
So therefore our capacity, we can guarantee you our capacity is going to be 62,000 when Everton kick off in 2022.
Yeah. But isn't this the whole point? Like we're saying, is that everybody seems to want the easy option, right? But the easy option was going to Kirby, or the easy option was going the Lancs, and just building a big bowl that you can just throw 70,000.
But the Lancs was the one, because that was the real alternative.
What we're doing at Bramley Moore Dock is really, really difficult. We are, and don't think for a minute that I am being like a club spokesman or something here. Just think of the practicalities of building on what it is now. It's a dock. It's still a dock. It's right next to a river. It's not. It's got a big wall that is not. You're not allowed to knock it down. Really, the practicalities of where we're building are not easy, and we're saying we're going to build a state-of-the-art stadium that's not going to look like anywhere else in this little thing. That's not easy, and yet people are trying to say, "Why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you making it steep?" What if every time they go make a design, someone goes, "You can't do that because that thing there will block this thing here," or you're hitting the wall, or your overhang's going over the river, or you know what I mean? Like actual practicalities of the footprint that we've asked for because it's iconic. It's a little bit give and it's a little, it's a little bit take. Of course it is. But the problem is we don't know what the give and takes are because we're all in the dark, aren't we?
That's the issue. That realistically, that's the key.
Yeah.
The key issue is we've been given no information.
Yeah.
No one's given context to anything.
That's why
Dan Meis done a presentation a year ago.
That we were told would be
almost a year ago. Where's that?
That the images we were told were this, and this is what I'll come back to what I was saying before. We're all in the dark as fans, so we are all making it up as we go along. Of course we are.
We always say. We always say when there's.
I can't say that.
When there's loads of it's silence, people fill the narrative. And Everton, they're getting better at some stuff. They still aren't learning at other stuff, and that is what will undo Everton ultimately as we go forward. We won't
have confidence in what you're doing.
It's not even
if you think that you are going to build this stadium, have confidence in it then, because the
Well,
more...
hang on. You know, last week when we were at the Fanatics presentation, for me, that was the first time I've heard a real Everton official talk with conviction about us having Bramley Moore Dock.
Yeah.
It really was. When Sashi was going, we're building this iconic shop at Bramley Moore Dock when we get to the stadium. But other times it's all been, it's problems and it's difficult to get there. And I'm not talking about people we might speak to who are going, no, we'll definitely go. I'm talking about official people who speak. So he's on the board. He's a board member telling us when we're getting to the stadium and this deal with Fanatics because they're going to build this brilliant big shop, flagship store at our new stadium at Bramley Moore. Come out and be bullish with it. We're going there. We know we're going there. And these are, like you said, we're going to be juggling a little bit to get it through planning permission. Tottenham juggled their stadium through planning permission. I've had Spurs fans sending me stuff going, look, when we put in for it, we said we were only having 54,000. The minute it got passed, it went to 62 because we went, we can alter that and we're going to 6. Once the planning permission's in place, it's in place. Everything should be safe. I know they're not going to come out and go, we've got to build it like this to get it through planning. They don't need to say that. But they have to be a little bit braver or fill the narrative. Now, tell people the direction we're going in. Tell people the timeline. If there's real issues with scaling, and I don't know whether there is, but it's been put, come out and say, we might have had to taper things a little bit since Dan Meis' presentation. We have to accept it. We could still end up with, say, 55,000, say, we'll just broad brush it as John B would say, but 55,000 stadium, that looks absolutely incredible from the outside. It looks amazing. Inside, it's difficult to make it look amazing inside. It will look brilliant.
I've said it before, Baz. I've said it before. I'd rather have 55,000 Evertonians with a boss atmosphere than 65 and you're losing something.
What did you think about the
wall?
Reclaimed wall?
That'll never happen.
No.
It would never happen. It's one of those things that is probably put in there to some people, so some people go, when people look at it, go, well, what's going to happen with all like the brick and stuff, because that's really important to us. We'll go, oh yeah, we're building the wall around the ground. At the last minute when someone will go, safety people will go, you can't have that. Why? Well, a player could hit it or fans could fall over it. You can't have it. And the club will go, oh yeah, we can't have it, sorry everybody. But you've already,
they look mad though.
You already ticked that box for the whoever need that to be in. That's what I'm saying. You've got it. You're not just, you're juggling lots of things. They've got to, how can I say this? They've got to be nice to loads of people. They've got to overpromise to some people. But those are the people that make the decisions. But they're not us.
Not the people.
You've got to think of like World Heritage and all that. Like, that's a major thing. I've been this, I won't go on, but I've been listening to this week. World Heritage are apparently want to do more in the city, and some people are like, don't let them. Don't let them go anywhere else, because it's all right saying, because they want to go into Chinatown and places like that, and people are like, no, don't let them go anywhere else, because because there's places in Liverpool, and people might think this is a good thing or a bad thing, but there's places in Liverpool that Everton that the city needs to regenerate, whether you like that or not. Student housing, the point being that students bring millions of pounds to this city, no matter whether you like student flats or not. They do, in a city that's been ripped apart by you know who. Having that would stop that. So it's not always a good thing. Some people just want to get rid of the World Heritage. It's like, what? Who opens the World Heritage travel catalogue and goes, let's go there? They've got World Heritage. Like, literally nobody.
I wouldn't give a toss about it, because it wouldn't stop me going somewhere. I wouldn't open a thing like you just said in Europe and go, oh, because of World Heritage I'm going there. I'd open it and go, Prague looks boss, I'll go there. Or
12 pence a beer.
It could have been anywhere.
No, but exactly.
No one's not. If we lost World Heritage UNESCO thing, do you honestly believe people wouldn't come to Liverpool?
One less certificate in Joe's office.
He wouldn't give a toss. They'd still be here.
But they're the hoops they've got to jump through. They've got to jump through all these hoops and make sure that when they get these kind of documents, everything looks
okay.
Boss. Might not always be the documents that someone else gets.
I think the important thing out of this is we all have to take a step back probably and just go, we can have this properly when the consultation comes out, and it's only going to be another couple of months now, is it? Not give or take 3 months, say, and we're going to have the images that we're going to have.
The misstep Everton made as a club was 3 months ago. Was it 3 months ago or 4 months ago when they brought the timeline out and they didn't tell people why we were where we were? Because really, we should have been ready to go then. Yeah. We were told we were going to have planning permission at the end of last year, and now you're telling us it's the end of this year. And the fact that they never told us why let all the doom merchants in. Now listen, some of those doom merchants I know and are sound people, and they've got every right to be like that because they've seen this stuff before. And well,
a lot of them have got every right because they're Evertonians.
No, I know. I'm saying that's what I'm saying. I'm not having a go at them. The point being is that we've been down this road before.
We've never been this far.
And if you don't tell people why you're making decisions, they can't get behind the next decision. If you haven't explained one decision, why are they going to get behind the next decision? You know, so that's the top and bottom of it. And again, it all comes back to
we all know that, you know, Mr. One Day a Week, it wasn't up to where it should have been.
Well, tell everyone then. Tell everyone. Throw them under the bus.
They probably wouldn't though, because it's a professional integrity. But what they could say is,
we've changed their
track, and we're now doing this. We weren't as far along as we should have been, and now we get
a whole new board. Some of the people on the board don't agree with the old regime. Therefore, things are going to change. But they didn't. They didn't say anything. No. And like we just said, the narrative gets filled by other people. Then, so number one, go and get someone who can do the job and come out public and be a public spokesman for this stadium. Because don't leave it in the hands of third parties like us and like the Echo and Roger Phillips' phoning, for God's sake. Get somebody who can come on this couch.
Yeah.
Get someone who can go to the Echo. Get someone who can go into Radio City, can go on Radio Mersey, can go on Sky, and confidently get across what is going on. Not just about the stadium, but anything to do with Everton. And half your battles will be won right there. You will be shutting down
negative
the debate straight away on the wheres and the whys and the whos and whatever. So anyway, let us know your thoughts. Anyway, let us know your thoughts. Importantly, on if you'd been offered, you know, the two which we were essentially, would you be going towards you know, Crocky now with
give the context
with Everton land?
Give the context to that.
You know, I wouldn't.
65,000 plus at Croxteth, or 50
personally.
Say 55,000 at the King's Dock. No. Which at Bramley Moore Dock? Which one would you?
Personally, I'm right on board what we're doing now, because I think in the end, the hard way is the best way.
Well, I seen a Liverpool fan the other day saying, you know, and out there getting a stadium on the waterfront, and they're getting to be part of town, and you know it's iconic and all that. And we're doing is
getting Bon Jovi. They're getting Bon Jovi back.
All we're doing is bolting on to their original stadium. How did we allow this as a club to happen? And that was from a Liverpool fan. So that you can see that.
Can I just address one more thing? I've looked in the comments and some people are still asking the question, why do we need to move?
Well, that's people's...
No, I know. But the reason we have to move is because our stadium doesn't make any money, and we'll get older. And what are you going to do with an older stadium? It'll get older, and we can't bolt on. Don't forget, we can't bolt on. Liverpool can. We can't do nothing more with Goodison Park apart from the park end.
Like before we go, Joe put the show already. This is very early in the infancy.
About 500 votes.
Okay, 500 votes in.
91% Bramley Moore.
There you go. So far, 500 votes in. Bramley Moore still. But people have got to get away from the people out there who talk about Goodison Park. Goodison Park will continue to get older and older and older, and there's nothing you can do with it. And as the game, more money comes into it, don't forget FFP, which you talk about all the time. It's making money yourself to balance the books. We can't do that with Goodison Park. We just can't. It doesn't. We can't. When people say, "Well, why don't you spend all the money on players?" You can't. You can't spend it on players because you need to generate that money in the first place to spend,
to be able to pay their wages.
But if you've got a higher turnover, then you can bring those people in. That's how FFP works, and it's not going away in the way it is at the moment. It's staying very much the way it is. So we've got to move, and we can't. And we'd love to be able to build on Goodison Park.
And the other thing is, we want to be self-sustainable.
Yeah.
We can't rely on Farhad Mashiri or Alisher Usmanov's money.
Or anyone's money. We should be on.
We want to
Everton.
be self-sustainable, and we can only do that with the bigger stadium. That's it.
There you go. Thanks for watching. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Make sure you to get on the poll on Twitter. See you later.